Hi guys, welcome back to Balls Fan TV, and today we're back with another video doing the match preview for tomorrow's game against Shelbourne at Dalymount Park, looking for a third straight victory. We're back on home soil after two away wins, two away games where we scored late, of course, to get the wins. And look, we'll be looking for more of the same here in a big game against the Sheld side, who are below us on the table at the moment. They haven't quite replicated the form that they showed last season, their title winning year, of course. And yeah, look, it's going to be an interesting one. But for us, like, it's just about keeping this uprising form going, especially at home. Looking to respond after our last home defeat against Waterford. But before that, obviously we picked up some good wins there against Pats and Cork. So we're looking to do more of the same here. But yeah, look, it will be tight, of course. It's always quite a tight game when we play Shells. There's normally not a lot of goals in it. They're not quite the team that they were last year in terms of the way they play. As we know, last year, they won the league by being quite defensive and grinding out a lot of results. But this year they have tried to play a bit more football, and it has got the mixed results, I suppose. They drew a few games, and a few high scoring games. Like a few weeks back, they drew 3 games in a row, 2-2, and they are conceding a lot more goals, but they are scoring some goals as well. They are creating chances. They are starting to control games a bit more. And it will be tricky, but look, it's just about us playing our game, carrying on the good form and the belief that we've gained over the last few weeks. And yeah, look, we'll see what happens. But in terms of the team, really, look, it's become pretty set in stone. We've said it in the last few weeks. With the form that we've been on, it's become a bit easier to predict the team now. Colin Whelan came off quite early on Saturday. Came off after an hour, and I think it would be harsh if you saw him dropped. He did struggle to get into the game there on Saturday, but look, I think I'd keep him in even after the Mills coming off the bench and scoring the winner. I don't think he'll get a start here. I think he still has a bit to do to become in contention to be a starter. Other than that, really, you don't really anticipate anything else happening. I think, like we said, everything's pretty set in stone now. I'd like to see Adam McDonald stay in midfield. I think he's done really well the last couple of weeks. The defence, it's been put in place a bit more. Cornwall has looked a bit more solid in the last couple of games, and Gretton's done really well, of course. And we've had more on that right back. Flores left back. So I don't think anything will change there, really. Unless Melody comes back in for Moran, but I don't think that'll happen. Look, in terms of the game, I think it'll be tight enough, to be honest, like it normally is when we play Shells. Like we said at the start of the video, there's not normally loads of goals in it, really. If there's ever been a winner, it's been by the goal, really. It's been by a 1-0 or a 2-1. A lot of draws as well in there. But look, I think if we just keep on playing the way we've been playing, we can definitely see us getting the win here. I think there's weaknesses to Shells that we can exploit. They are quite shaky at the back. They've had a few injuries there. Paddy Barrett, they're missing him big time. Gannon's only really coming back from injury now. And look, whilst they are probably a little bit better going forward than they were last year, Kerr McEnroy's come in and done really well in midfield. Adebeko as well is a good player. Look, I know he hasn't really got off to a flying start, but he is a good player that can be great on his day. And Sean Boyd, is good for a goal, and Harry Wood, they've got a lot of quality going forward. But look, it's up to us now to just try and keep up this momentum, this energy that we've been showing in games. We can work on starting games better, of course. It would be nice to see a good, consistent 90-minute performance here. And getting the 3 points along with that. But look, I can see it being another game where it is quite scrappy. But we may just end up making it in the second half, with the quality that we can bring off the bench. If you look at the bench there on Saturday, we were able to bring on Brennan, we were able to bring on Milsay. We might even have Connor Parsons back for this one as well, which is a big plus. So not that we will have quality to bring off the bench to try and change the game, and I think that's what might swing it in our favour here. I'm going to go with a 1-0 win, but tight enough 1-0 win. But I think it'll follow in the same trend as last week and the Galway game, and even in other games gone by, where we grow into it as the game goes on, and we just have that little bit more energy at the end of the game to nick it. So I'm going to go with a 1-0 win. Look, I hope I'm right. It would be a great win if we could get it. It would further cement our place in the European spots. Give us that confidence then to push on at the next few games, and make us believe even more that we can actually stay in those top 4 or 5 places and make a real push for Europe. So I'm gonna go with a 1-0 win. Hopefully that comes true when we have a good day, and the atmosphere is good in Dalymount, and we have the place rocking again. We spur the lads on for another big win. So that's where I'll end it. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, comment down below what you're thinking ahead of the game, your score predictions, and I'll see you for the reaction the day after. Bye bye.